guys, welcome to Becky Tarot. My name's Becky. I'm a spiritual advisor, clairvoyant energy reader. So today's video is self-love, right? It's such a hard thing to do. Love thyself enough to be understanding towards yourself, to be patient with yourself, yeah? It's very easy to be like that towards other people, but not yourself. So, self-love, we're going to do this together. Get pen and paper. I'll give you a couple minutes to go get a bit of pen and paper. Let's give you a minute. I should put it in the thing. Get pen and paper. Alright, so you could do it on your phone, I suppose. Let's give you guys a minute of sage whilst people are collecting. Someone jot this down. So this is true self-love and figuring out how to give it to yourself, yeah? Let's figure out together. But first we cleanse. Okay. Right, so how we're gonna do this, yeah, is it's very hard to know what you want and what you need. Sorry, I can't lip sync. Okay. It's very hard to know what you need in order to be self-love. Right, so there's two ways you can do this. I'm going to do it one way, but you're more than welcome to do it the other way. So you can just take a look at kind of you can take a look at the best way to find out how to self-love and how to love yourself in ways that you're neglecting yourself is write down all the things that you feel you need from the other person. Like if you're in a relationship, all the things that you need to feel loved from someone, all the things that you think you'd need to be loved from someone else, you're going to write that down. What I'm going to do, which is another way to do it, is think of your past relationship or the relationship you're in, however you want to go with it. I'm going to think of my ex-partner and the things that he did that made me feel unloved. Right, and then I'm going to jolt that into that's how I can love myself. It's an easier way of me figuring out the things I'm missing and what I need to give to myself. So, step one, bit of paper. I love me because I should love me. I'm here living this lifetime with me. I'm primal. I need to learn to love myself because I've got a long amount of time with myself, okay? So, my title is I Love Me. Right, things I didn't like, things that made me feel unloved in the relationship with my ex-partner. So when I'd be feeling insecure and I'd reach out for, like, I don't know, bearing in mind I had a baby. I'm still losing the pounds, right? I had a baby, she turns 1 tomorrow. I had a baby and it's hard. I've had 2 children. My body is not, I'm always someone that was always curvy. I'm not a lucky slim girl. And it's hard. I've had 2 children and 2 C-sections. So yeah, I've got a mummy tummy, fucking, all right. As I've got older, I get more confident, right? But here's just one example. So not long had the baby and I felt, but I had cheated and stuff anyway. So I was feeling insecure, right? And I'd reach out in those moments, like I'd stand in front of the mirror and be like, oh, like just prodding myself or whatever. But anyway, I have a baby in the room and he'd say stuff to me like, well, you wanted a baby. Right? So that was me reaching for the security that I felt I needed to feel loved by that individual. I mean, I'm glad my response was, well, I don't regret it because I don't. I love my child. I love both my children and I don't regret my daughter in any format. I love her. But so that was something that made me feel so unloved for my physical form. So how can I love me better? So when I have those moments of insecurity about my physical form, I am going to look in the mirror and tell me I am beautiful inside and out. And just because I don't look like other people, it doesn't matter. I'm going to give that to me. So when I get insecure, I'm going to stop. When my things are going on, I'm looking at my fat and I'm like, I'm going to stop myself and I'm going to tell myself, I love you just the way you are. Which is what I needed to hear. I love you just the way you are, you're perfect to me. That's what I'm going to write. 1. So, that's weird, why do I write it like that? So 1. I'm going to put insecure. Sort my pen out. Insecure. What did I say? I love you just the way you are. You're perfect to me. Bosh, that is self-love number 1. So I need to remember when I'm feeling insecure and I'm being all like, I feel so fat, like, stop. Tell myself in the mirror, if you can get to a mirror. If not, tell yourself, I love you, I love me, I love you. You are perfect the way you are perfect to me. Instant, I'm loving myself in a way that I was reaching out for, yeah? Number 2, what else? Physical thing, insecure, oh, right. Unsupportive, I'm gonna just write that down. So, I have a lash business that I run from home, and I learned when I went through my ascension and spiritual awakening that obviously everyone's programmed into, there is nothing wrong with having a 9 to 5, everyone's on different journeys, whatever, but for me, it's like I was programmed into fitting a box that wasn't right for me, and I got myself a little side hustle, and then we had COVID, and that's been me for a while. Obviously I've had the baby and whatever, but the business did well, like it still does well considering I have a baby and I have to juggle it all, but he was so unsupportive. Like, he kept telling me to get a real job. I mean, what is a real job? A job is a job, and everyone has different, like, I assume he meant one that I'm paid by a payroll and working for someone else. Anyway, yeah, just extremely unsupportive in every format, really. So when I'm having moments of needing support, when I would reach out, examples being, yeah, I'd be like, oh, I'd moan about it because I'd moan about that business because it was starting to not connect with me anymore. I was starting to feel like I need to evolve and grow and push forward into kind of a different dynamic. And rather than being supportive, which I would be, I'd be like, if your mental health is like struggling, pull back, don't do it. Trust the divine, they've got you. He would be like, oh, you're only sticking some lashes on. Let me tell you something. It is a lot harder than it looks, and good luck at Christmas. You're so fully booked. I nearly, both Christmases, well, every Christmas, I've been on the floor fighting off tears because I used to squeeze so many people in. Obviously, I learned to have more self-love and be like, no, once the stocks are gone. But yeah, non-supportive, like, like, just because he was working a 9 to 5 and I was juggling baby and businesses and cleaning a home and looking after my other child, apparently that's not enough. Like, how dare I moan? I mean, he was a lazy cunt. He used to nap at his work and come home and sit and smoke weed. Like, fuck off. But so unsupportive. So when I'm having moments of needing to support myself, so say I want to take a risk and I'm like, right, I want to stop doing this for a bit. I'm not feeling it's right for me and I want to just see how this works. But then my fears take over and I'm like, oh no, like, oh, it's not gonna, you know, my finances is gonna take a hit. No, self-love, we support ourselves. So when I'm having those moments, I'm gonna go, no, honey, trust your intuition. Are you struggling? Is your mental health struggling? Are you I was gonna say drained and exhausted, and it kind of made one word. Are you drained, exhausted? Are you burnt out? No, take some time off. You need it. Not, oh, it's so dramatic, I'm putting lashes on, get a real job. No. you've been working really hard, or you're burnt out. It's cool. Take some time off. Take some weeks off. So when I'm feeling like I would reach out for support for someone, I'm going to tell myself, trust yourself. Take a rest so you can decide what you need and want. And then I'm going to end with, you can, well, something I always say to people, you create your own reality. You create your own reality. Number 2, that's me loving myself. That's where I would reach out, because I wanted someone to tell me, no, like, you're completely entitled to feel that way. That's okay. Maybe try taking some time off or whatever, and then see how you go from there. Like, you create your own reality. So what is it you want to do? That's what I've got to tell myself. That's how I self-love myself. Okay? Right, other forms of self-love. The word no. It's such a hard thing, isn't it? You know, if someone's... I'm just going to put no. What's not a form of self-love? If you are made to do something you actively feel like you hate and don't want to do, unless it's for your children, sometimes that's a thing, but whatever. Like, if you have a partner, I'm just trying to think of an example here. What did he used to do? I'm not going to put that on video, but couldn't take the word no. Like, so example being, when I was in a relationship, he'd be like, so moved into the house, the garden's decent-ish size, not massive. There was a small shed, it was old and rotting a bit, like quite a bit, but listen, I don't need a shed. Or no, I needed a shed just to put the shit, like garden shit in. That's it. Didn't need a massive anything. I want the garden for the children. Big paddling pools. I want the garden because this is the first proper nice house. I've been in the house before, but proper nice house, family home. And a garden, big sliding door that goes to my garden. I want the garden for the children. He's like, well, I could ride a motorbike and I need somewhere safe to put it. So I'm gonna knock this down and just build a good shed. Now, my primal point being, fine, but I want a garden, like my garden. You're not eating into loads of my garden. And I kept saying no. I kept saying, I don't want it to be that big. And he'd go, oh yeah, it's not going to be that big. And then he'd lay the floor and it'd be that big. And I'd be being a pushover and not demanding, no, get rid of it. If you can't stick to the rules, then don't build it. And I wasn't saying no when I needed to say no. And that is a form of not self-love. No is a sentence. The word no is a whole sentence. That's all you got to say. No. Quite. No. Don't allow it. Don't be pushed into doing something you don't want to do. Just don't be. So no. I'm going to put, if you say no, it means no. Respect yourself and your feelings. Okay, number 4. What else we got? Forms of self-love, like insecurity, support, being a bit of a pushover. That's not being self-love. Actively, you should be doing what you feel like with your intuition and what you need and want. You should be able to express your needs and wants. Right. Something, again, I am all sign and I'm an empath. I have gifts. You know, I'm quite a concoction. I'm extremely emotional, but I also move through my emotions very quickly because I let them come to the surface, I work through them and I release, okay? And he used to tell, well, it was like I wasn't allowed to have emotions because he actively pretended he didn't have any and would avoid and wear masks and whatever. So I wasn't entitled to have any feelings about anything, even him cheating on me. Like, I'm not allowed. When I kicked off, screamed, cried, oh my God, you're so dramatic. Yes, I'm so dramatic that my partner who I thought I was going to marry, who I've just had a newborn baby with, has been cheating. I tried to express this my whole pregnancy, that I was convincing you gaslighted me, but I'm kicking and screaming and going mad and I'm dramatic. That, like, what the fuck, right? So, self-love number one. If I'm feeling emotional, I'm going to say to myself, it's absolutely fine. You are entitled to feel emotions. You have your emotions. You release your emotions and you never feel bad for your emotions. So, emotions. You are entitled to have feelings. Don't ever hold them back. I love you for how expressive you are. Self-love number 4. Number 5. So what other things did I hate that made me feel unloved? Opinions. I wasn't allowed to really like have an opinion. It was like my opinion was just always irrelevant and be locked down. Like, I was always open-minded to how he thought, apart from when it was just utterly ridiculous and rude and yeah, like some of them were horrendous. Like, not tipping because you're a tight cunt is not okay. Like, and then when I try and tip, you want to fucking, you don't want it left on the table because you think someone's going to steal it, and then you're waving my £5 note around and then going to give it to the waiter. Like, oh, I'm not leaving it on the table. Like, fucking weird shit, right? Opinions. So if I have an opinion or express an opinion, it was always locked down, like shut down, as if like, well, obviously not. Even though I found with my ex-partner that he really sometimes had no common sense and like he was incapable of looking at the bigger pictures, and it used to fuck me off, but he'd like wind me down and I'd just be, in my head I'd be thinking, that's ridiculous, that makes no sense. But I wouldn't express my opinion, which is stupid. Like, and that's not self-love. I'm literally being taken back to just stupid things where my opinion was like, you can't do that, and he'd be like, he'd come out with the most weirdest thing and I'd just be thinking, that is what? Like, that just makes no sense. And he'd just shut me down, and I wouldn't speak up and speak my opinion. So my self-love number 5 is speaking my opinions. Say, what you think, and how creatively you think is a part of who you are. Don't ever suppress that. Self-love number 5. Yeah, I hated that. It's like I couldn't have an opinion and my opinion was always wrong. It's ridiculous. I'm a strong, powerful woman that's got myself here by myself. Of course my opinion's relevant. I've been through a lot, I've seen a lot. And I'm an open-minded person, so I can take other factors in. I'm not closed-minded. So, of course, my fucking opinion matters, girl. Yeah? Self-love number 6. staying true to your power. That kind of comes in with the opinion thing, like knowing my power enough that what I think is like important and expressing that. But staying in my power is staying in my power is knowing where I'm heading, or knowing that it's okay if I don't quite know, but I stand true in trusting myself, my intuition, and my everything about me. So I'm staying true, I'm staying in my power. My ex used to do lots of things to try and beat that down, like, oh, you're gonna what? Or like, oh, just like if I was trying to be in my power, like making sure I was being on high vibration, getting up and going my walk every morning. Oh, don't do your walk today. Like, oh, come on, like just staying in my power is what is needed. So I'm gonna put, yeah, power, staying in my power. But don't let anyone pull you down. Don't let anyone pull you down and out of that power. You are strong. You are a strong, powerful, divine feminine. Don't ever forget that. Bosh. Self-love, number 6. What else? What else was there in his relationship that made me feel unloved? Insecure, I was always suppressed my opinions. He was really unsupportive with like career choices and everything else. She didn't seem to understand when I said the word no. And I was not standing true to saying the word no. Speaking my opinions, I needed to make sure I stood up and believe in myself and my opinions. Emotions, you're telling me I'm too emotional and I wasn't allowed to have them. No, I love me. I love that about me. I'm so emotional, like I feel everything, I see everything. My emotions are just, I flow in my emotions. I am powerful. Power, I'm strong. I've been through so much in my lifetime. I really have. And I got myself here. And nothing ever beats me down. Like, I might be down for a bit, but it makes me stronger. And I am extremely powerful for that. And anything else? Or am I going to finish on that? I am going to put, it kind of ties in, but I'm going to put for number 7, envy and jealousy, right? Because as you kind of stand true in your power, this will be, son love, shut up. As you learn to stand true in your power and you grow and evolve and reflect and everything, and you learn your lessons, you get higher and higher and ascending, people around you, connections, like family members, relationships, whatever, people get envious and jealous and they try and tear you down. And having an awareness, yeah, of this is something that's always needed, because that's their issue, right? And don't allow other people's jealousy to stop you from growing. It's really, really important. Like, it's example being like, even down to if you went shopping with a friend and there was an outfit you really liked and you were like, yeah, it looks banging, and they're like, oh, it looks horrible. Fucking buy it, fucking wear it. Like, envy and jealousy, I'm gonna put, is lower vibrational. You keep doing you. You're a queen. Yeah. That is a huge part of the journey, just in general. I mean, he would never express it, but I think he did get envious sometimes. I think my ex-partner just didn't know how to create and work with himself because he refused to look at himself. And then that created problems. So I think he'd get envious towards me when I was creating. I'm not sure. I mean, I'm saying all this, we're in a better position now. I don't want to sit here and be like, these are all the things and the traits that he was, but I'm not in a relationship, doesn't affect me anymore. And anything he does to pull me down can't affect me anymore. It's just, that's how it is. But we are building a very good and strong foundation. for our daughter. So I just want to jot that out there, because it feels like I'm here slagging him off, but he has his own issues that I am understanding of now, and it can't affect me because we are detached and I'm in my power again. And number 8, someone's dark, this probably comes in actually towards the envy and jealousy, but what's it saying? How someone treats you is not a representation of your value. I'm not gonna write that long, but how someone treats you is not a representation of your worth. I'm gonna put your worth. Your worth. Then I'll put how someone treats you is not a representation of your worth. I'll just put you're a goddess. This is how you should speak to yourself. I idolize you. I idolize you. And then I put you're worthy of it all. You're worthy of the world and more. Right. Yes. The whole thing of like, you know, if someone cheats on you, it doesn't, and if someone hurts you, cheats on you and doesn't appreciate you, that doesn't mean your worth goes down because someone couldn't see all of your worth and what you're offering. It's their problem. Like, someone offers you a £50 note, right? Someone offers two people a £50 note. One person has one that's completely fresh, it's never been touched. Another person has one that's really crinkled, it's seen lots of pockets and hands. Are any of them more worthy? No, they're exactly the same to start with, right? None of them are worthy, okay? So if one of the person that has a crumpled one goes, oh, I'm not taking that, and throws it on the floor, and then this person has this lovely one, pockets it, and then goes, like, because that person walked off, takes that one, because they see that they're both £50 notes and both worthy, there's no different in the value. Does it mean, like, just because this person threw that on the floor, does that mean the £50 isn't £50 anymore? Because the person couldn't see that it was worth anything. No, that £50 note is still a £50 note. It's just that twat didn't seem to realise that just because it was crinkled, it was still a fucking £50 note. Yeah? Do you see where I'm going? Like, your worth is not determined from someone else's twattiness, like from someone else not seeing it. That's their problem. It's their lesson. They've got issues that are clouding it. My ex couldn't accept love. From me, anyway. I mean, couldn't accept it. Guard up, shut it down, shut it away. But that doesn't mean I'm now not a loving, loyal, amazing person that's worthy of an amazing husband that will be loyal, treat me, be supportive, let me be in my emotions and allow me to express that won't, you know, when I'm insecure, hug me, kiss me, grab my tummy and tell me I'm stunning, like, you know, all these things. That's what, you are worthy of that, and just because someone couldn't see that doesn't mean you're still not worthy of it. It just means more for them. They're not worthy of you. Certainly not at that moment in time, but still. So this is just one example of how you can self-love, yeah? So I will put this somewhere, my fridge, by my mirror, and then I will make sure I try hard to remember, and I will try and stick this, and every time I look at it, I'll go through it like, you know, I love me just the way I am, and I'm perfect. I'm a really emotional person, and I love that about myself. No means no, and it's a sentence. I don't have to express anything other than the word no, and I can stand true into my own feelings when I want to say no. Trust myself if my intuition's kicking off and telling me I'm done here in this job, or I'm done here in this home, I need to start making moves. Trust myself, support myself in my knowing. Speaking my opinions. Okay, it might be different to everyone else in the room, but I'm still entitled to my very valid opinion. If I believe it and stand it, you are okay to express it. Power. I'm an extremely powerful spiritual being, human being. I've come through a lot. I've made it all happen for myself. I'm extremely strong. And that's an amazing thing about me. I should continue to be powerful and follow and trust my own power. There'll be evil and jealous people around me, but that's okay. They're lower vibrational. I am a queen and I'll keep doing me. And my worth is not give. I don't know how. What was that thing I said? My worth is not represented from how someone else sees me, or whatever the sentence was. But my value is not defined by how other people treat me. I'm a goddamn goddess, and so are you. Okay, and I love me, and I will continue to love me. So that is how you can self-love. I'm sure there's many other things, and I'm trying to do it in video, but I'm sure there's other factors if I sat here and if you go through. But 2 ways to do it, to find at the gap. Either go off, if you were in a relationship, what do you feel that you would need from the other person to make you feel loved? Do that and give it to yourself. Write it down and give it to yourself. Or go off in a past relationship, what was something someone wasn't giving to me and it made me feel unloved? Give it to yourself. Okay? If you're interested in booking a personal reading, private reading, information is in the box down below. And in the meantime, I send you so much love and light. Bye.